Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the processional? please remain standing for the presentation of colors and the national anthem. Please remain standing for a moment of silence so that we may all individually, according to our own beliefs, join our hearts and minds to give thanks for this year's blessings. Welcome to the commencement ceremony of the Richardson High School class of 2022. Please be seated.
Good evening, students, faculty, family, and friends. My name is Avery O'Neill, the senior class treasurer, and it is my privilege to speak with you all. 13 years ago, we started on a path that led us to this moment. Within those years, we have dreamt of being seniors in high school. 13 years ago, all we wanted was to grow up. We made it all the way here, and we realized that growing up is not something that we should have rushed. We should have cherished the first 7 years of the extra minutes of recess and the simple coloring sheets. We should have appreciated the next 2 years of middle school, where we first began to dream about what the future could hold. Over the past 4 years, we had the chance to grow our education at a school that makes its students the priority. We've had this opportunity because of someone who has worked diligently to make Richardson High School the best high school in Texas. He has cultivated a family-focused, encouraging learning environment and hopes to make sure that every student feels a sense of belonging. This person has helped students connect to something positive through an increasement in the amount of opportunities offered at RHS. Because of these opportunities that have been offered at Richardson High School, we now get to turn over new pages in our story with endless possibilities for us to choose and follow. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the person who has helped to guide us through the last 4 years, our head principal, Mr. Chris Choate.
Thank you, Avery. In fact, Avery, if you could stand real quick to be recognized. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Well, hello, Eagle Nation. Those of you here tonight and those of you watching on the live stream, welcome to the 2022 Richardson High School graduation. We certainly can applaud that. That is correct. Please allow me to introduce our stage guest this evening. To my right, I would like to begin with our interim superintendent, Ms. Tabitha Branham. Our RISD Board of Trustees President, Regina Harris. Board of Trustee members present, Debbie Renteria, Eric Eager, Aaron Lynn, Chris Poteet, and Megan Timmy. Thank you. I would also like to take a moment to recognize members of the Superintendent's Council. We love and appreciate the support from Ms. Branham and her council. I truly believe this is the most supportive district leadership team in the state of Texas, and we thank you for that. Also on stage and being introduced along with their family in just a few moments, our top 10 graduates. Top 10, please stand. Thank you. Also on stage are senior class officers, President Emily Rivera, Vice President Awab Siddiqui, Secretary Hannah Argawal, Treasurer Avery O'Neill, Historian Samaya Karam. Our Student Council officers, President Akram Hassan, and family. Our Vice President, Nabia Chowdhury. Secretary, Bushra Rahman. And Treasurer, Arissa Rahman. Also on stage is our Super SAC students who meet monthly with the superintendent to serve as the voice of over 39,000 students. With us tonight, Anaya Hawkins, Zoe Walker, and Danielle Durham. Thank you, Super SAC. Announcing our graduates this afternoon will be Assistant Principal Miss Allie Reams and RHS teacher Miss Jennifer Manchin. Today, our Eagle family, friends, RISD staff, and administration have all come together to witness and to celebrate the graduation of the class of 2022. You're a class that has been recognized for your accomplishments at both the state and national levels, for your successes and championships in academics, athletics, and fine arts. And I do want to mention the historic moment that happened at Richardson High School, and we have over 100 years of tradition. And we looked and researched, and this is the first time in RHS history that every single one of our girls' athletic programs made the UIL state playoffs. And then, as most of you know, we had a pretty decent basketball team this last 4 years as well. All of you, class of 2022, have successfully continued a tradition of excellence that was established over 100 years ago. I want to thank you. I congratulate you. You are ready to become members of a prestigious group, alumni of Richardson High School. The wonderful successes of these fantastic students did not just happen this week or this year. Such accomplishments stem from a collaborative effort of many people during the past 12 years. I would like to recognize just a few of those people right now. Sitting back behind our students, with us today is Principal of Westwood Math, Science, and Leadership Magnet, Katie Mottram. Principal of Richardson West Visual Arts and Technology Magnet, Ms. Kimberly Kindred. Principal of Dover Elementary School, Jennifer Balch. Principal of MST Magnet, Dr. Lauren Bolak. Principal of Arapahoe Classic Magnet, Kristen Strickland. Principal of the Hamilton Park Pacesetters Magnet, Michael Thomas. Principal, Spring Valley Elementary, Brana Hudson. And lastly, Director and Assistant Director of Memorial Park Academy, Bill Gallo and Talandra Griffin. Thank you, principals in the absolute best learning community in the state of Texas. I am very proud to recognize this next group, which has been responsible for a large portion of our seniors' most recent success. This influential group is seated alongside our seniors. Their high expectations, ability to connect, to guide, and inspire our students set them apart and makes them the very best at what they do. I am extremely proud of this group of educators. Sitting next to our seniors, the RHS faculty. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Our wonderful RHS counselors have also played an instrumental role in our student success. Our counselors have won multiple awards and been recognized across the state for their outstanding work in counseling. Please direct your attention back behind the students where our counselors are seated. Would the counselors please stand and be recognized? Thank you, counselors. Next, I would like to thank a lady who worked with this group of seniors to navigate this difficult year. A person who is a mentor, a counselor, and an advisor. Our senior principal, Ms. Tara McLennan. She's shy, but she's right over here, everybody. The success of any organization begins with a strong foundation which supports everything. For Richardson High School, that foundation is an outstanding group of administrators. Administrators with us tonight, Associate Principal Michelle King, Assistant principals with us tonight, Vaughn Inslee, Romero Lucio, Elise Curry, and Allison Reams. Thank you, administrative team, for all the hard work that you do. I would also like to take just a minute to introduce the Richardson High School School Resource Officers. Officer Lozada and Officer Favreau, I want to say thank you for keeping us safe every single day. At this time, I would ask you to look in your graduation program as we begin the student recognition portion of this evening. We'll begin with our National Merit Finals. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized. Our first National Merit Finalist, Hannah Agarwal. Our second finalist, Lucas Zinnick. Thank you, Lucas and Hannah. We're also proud of our 10 commended National Merit Scholars. If you are one of our 10 commended scholars, please stand and be recognized. Need to add to please stand, to hang on to that hat and be recognized. We're also very proud of our National Hispanic Scholars and our National African American Scholars. This year, we had a record-setting 25 National Hispanic Scholars and National African American Scholars. If you receive these recognitions, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. And I really like the energy from this group right over here. Thank you. At this time, would all 240 honor graduates, those having a grade point average of 90 or above, wearing the gold stoles, please stand and be recognized. Thank you, honors graduates. That energy was felt on both sides from here all the way to the back, so thank you. Our next group has distinguished themselves in their academic and through service, leadership, and citizenship. Would all 150 National Honor Society members please stand and be recognized? Thank you, National Honor Society. Next is our students completing and verifying 60 volunteer hours during their high school years, which is even more impressive considering the last couple of years. Those receiving the RISD Service Learning Award, would all 148 Service Learning Award recipients please stand and be recognized. Thank you. AVID at Richardson High School continues to grow. We continue to hold the title as a National AVID Demonstration School. I'm also very proud to announce that our AVID seniors set a record, a year of many records for Richardson High School, receiving a total of $6.75 million in scholarships. Will our AVID graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you, Avid. Memorial Park Academy is an RISD non-traditional high school program that works with students from all 4 high schools to complete graduation requirements. The program's most recently celebrated its 200th graduate this school year and approximately 1,300 graduates since its creation 6 years ago. Under the direction of Bill Gallo and assisted by Talandra Griffin, if you were a student that attended Memorial Park Academy, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. It is with great pride that I now introduce our top 10 graduates. As I call your name, would you and your family stand and remain standing as we recognize you? Our number 10 graduate, Luke Allemeyer. With Luke today is his mom and dad, Shelley and Michael Allemeyer. Our number 9 graduate, Cecilia Moldovan. With Cecilia today is her mom and dad, Regina and Chris Moldovan. Our number 8 graduate, William Zhao. With William today is his mother, Olivia, Grandma Jean, and brother, Alex. Our number 7 graduate is Gwendolyn Jones. With Gwendolyn today is her mom and dad and family, Stephanie and Keith Jones. Abdullah Al-Hassoum, number 6. With Abdullah today is his mom and dad, Ban Al-Habouzi, and our mom, Ban Al-Habouzi, and dad, Saeed Al-Hassoum. Is that wrong? Number 5 graduate, Cadence McCamick. With Cadence today is her mom and dad, Cheryl Lynn and Edwin McCamick. Our number 4 graduate, Hannah Agarwal. With Hannah today is her mom and dad, Jennifer and Raj. Our number 3 graduate, Zoe Walker. With Zoe today is her mom and dad, Jennifer and Brian Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please give another huge round of applause for graduates number 3 through 10. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, we want to recognize 2 students that couldn't be with us this evening. Class of 2022 graduate Najia Dakaya Freeman is bravely battling cancer, and we want Najia to know that we love you and we miss you, and we hope you feel better soon. Our second graduate I want to mention, we recently lost one of our class of 2022 graduates, Toby Gerald Ross. Toby was a well-loved member of the Eagle senior class of 2022. His infectious laugh and fighting spirit brought joy to each and every person he met, and he will be missed. To Najia and Toby, Toby's family, our thoughts are with you, and we celebrate tonight's accomplishment. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium Charles Anderson, RHS Latin teacher, to introduce our 2022 salutatorian.
Good evening, RHS class of 2022 and your families. It is my pleasure to introduce to you your 2022 salutatorian, Juliana Larimer. I have known Juliana for the last 4 years as her Latin teacher. Juliana has an inherent joy of learning. She has the ability not only to make even the driest of topics interesting for herself, but also to convey her infectious joy to her peers. Whether it's her opinion of Caesar's choice of literary device, or the silly way she remembers the meaning of a vocabulary word, her presence in a classroom makes the learning process fun and accessible to her peers. Juliana has been the Latin Club co-consul this year. Over her high school career, she has earned the gold medal on the National Latin Exam, placed in area and state Latin competitions, organized service opportunities as a National Honor Society officer, and advanced to both region and area playing the piccolo the last 2 years. I know Juliana will continue to have success in the fall as a neuroscience major at the University of Texas in Austin. Her experience with the Golden Eagle Band has been particularly formative. Here she is talking about, in her own words, about her high school experience in the Golden Eagle Band.
Good evening, and thank you, Principal Choate and Mr. Anderson. Thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate the Richardson High School graduating class of 2022. My name is Juliana Larimer. I might not know all of you, but we went to high school together. I could tell you to reach for the stars, follow your dreams, and that the future is bright, but I do not know what the future holds. I cannot stand here and offer advice for the future because I don't know anything about the future, of course. I can only reflect on what I've learned thus far and in my 4 years at this school. It is important to set goals and make plans for the future, but what these past years have taught us is that even though the future is uncertain, we as humans are capable of adapting to the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. This uncertainty cannot be an excuse to forfeit our hopes and dreams. As a member of the Richardson High School Golden Eagle Band, I attended a weekend marching competition, although I was in charge of props instead of marching in the show because if I'm being honest, I was not very good at marching. Just before we were to take the field to perform the show, a severe storm struck, and I dutifully worked to secure the props against the high winds. When I finally sought shelter underneath the stands of the stadium, I dried my hair under the bathroom hand dryer and was offered a free chili dog and a semi-damp abandoned sweatshirt by the woman running the concession stand. A man then offered me the shoes off of his own 2 feet. That man was my band director, Jesus Marquez. Shout out Mr. Marquez. Though in many ways this experience was a disaster, it is also one of my fondest memories. The most meaningful and formative experiences which we take with us from high school may not be the most obvious. We will take what we've learned about our struggles, perseverance, and compassion into our lives beyond high school. Each one of us will be starting fresh as we move forward. I can see future engineers, lawyers, artists, and ventriloquists among this graduating class. We will look back at this time 20 years from now. Most of us will not care about likes, followers, class rank, and popularity from high school. We will remember the friends and mentors who shaped us into the people we are today, and in our future endeavors, we will recall the lessons that we have learned from our trials, tribulations, and triumphs here. I urge you all not to be defined by the past, but to embrace the unforeseeability of the future and the choices and possibilities that we each have. We might not yet be fully prepared to go forth into our adult lives, but we have learned the skills necessary to get there. I want to leave you with some words of wisdom from either hockey great Wayne Gretzky or Michael Scott, who said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So, go for it, class of 2022.
Yes, She and her brother, Nicholas, who also went to RHS and graduated last year, are very close. You know, we lived in Colorado, and she grew up in the outdoors, you know, skiing, sledding, sort of, you know, they could hear the concerts from the playground, and there were elk in the playground, and lots of snowstorms. It was crazy. I think we really encouraged them to learn first, you know, not to work to the test, but really learn. And it wasn't all about grades. It's really about the process and education, and I think they both took it to heart. Well, Mr. Anderson has been a really wonderful teacher to her because he listens a lot to her stories, but where there's more individual focus and conversation, and I think the teacher that really cares.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes she has a little bit of a breakdown and then a breakthrough, you know.
That's it.
Not that there's anything,
Yes.
not that there's anything wrong with
Nothing
that.
wrong
I
with
think
that.
a lot of people get things done that way.
Usually then she just puts on her headphones and listens to some music and gets to work. I mean, she's a very nice person. I think she just really wants to be the best she can be, but she works really late at night. She just takes it very seriously. I think it motivates her to want to do well. And I think she wants to help people with science. And her grandfather studied neurophysiology, so I think I'm just proudest that she really wants to follow in his footsteps.
You know, I'm immensely proud of her. We're immensely proud of her for all of her accomplishments, of course, and
Kids should have fun in college. That's like, or in life. It's important to be happy. Just how proud and happy I am for her. I love her so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, help me recognize Juliana Larimer and her family. Thank you. Let me find Mr. Mancong. At this time, I would like for William Mancong, Richardson High School head tennis coach, to come forward to introduce the 2022 valedictorian.
Good evening, RHS soon-to-be graduates. It's an honor to be here tonight with all of you. For those who don't know who I am, just like Mr. Choate said, I am the Richardson High School head tennis coach. Some of you out there actually know me as a PE teacher at Northlake Elementary, just down the road right here. So if you've been in my class before, you know what I'm all about. And intensify that being on the tennis court with me. Though I did not know this valedictorian in elementary, I first watched him playing tennis in 8th grade. And little did I know, 4 years later, I'd be here tonight giving this speech. When he first asked me to give this speech tonight, honestly, I started laughing because I thought this was his way of making a joke, making sure I'd show up for graduation this year. So here I am giving this speech tonight. When I realized that he wasn't joking, I was actually really shocked and honored because the 4 years that he was a varsity player for me, ending as the #1 player for Richardson High School, I know that numerous teachers out there from his elementary and high school at that building at RHS has made a huge impact on him. So on his behalf, I thank you for molding and shaping and challenging him. So, and no doubt, I believe that RHS is really one of the greatest high schools in this great state. He has met and exceeded all my expectations when it comes to being a student athlete on and off the court. He plays tennis with his brain by calculating his shots. He uses athleticism to get to tennis balls that others would just completely give up on. And lastly, he plays with purpose, whether it be for his team, for his coach, or for himself. He won a tournament just recently, and when he won that tournament, going 5 rounds in one day, he yelled out so loud you thought that he won $5 million at the Wimbledon tournament. But what I will always remember about him is something he probably wishes I'd actually forget. You see, he doesn't possess many negative traits, but that doesn't mean he's immune from ever making a mistake. You see, one time he used my name to get out of class once. Probably sounds familiar for students out there. And one time, well, when he did that, he didn't show up to my class. I confronted him about it, and when I talked to him in my office, he was trembling, like I am a little bit right now, shaking. He was shaking uncontrollably. I thought he was about to have a seizure. You know, for veteran teachers and coaches, sometimes we can spot a lie before it even comes out. But I didn't say anything. I wanted just to see how the next day would evolve and where we go from there. And when I showed up for practice, he was already there waiting for me. And he said, "Coach, can we talk?" I said, "Of course." You can imagine what had transpired from there. And the reason why I bring this up tonight is not to embarrass him, but to show you who he is, honest to the core, learning from his mistakes, and always looking to make things better. He said he did not like the way he felt the 24 hours after our first initial conversation. He's that student athlete that will push himself to be the best every day and better the next day. That's what makes him such a great, awesome student. And he's been doing that for me for the last 4 years. So with no further ado, I give you the CIO of Zenith Technologies and your valedictorian of 2022, Christopher Hill.
Members, family, and friends of the class of 2022, we did it. Together we have navigated the ups and downs of 13 years in the Richardson Independent School District, and after today, we will be proud graduates of its absolutely best high school, RHS. Although we will not see each other nearly as often after today, I hope that we will always be cheering on our fellow Eagles from afar. Don't tell this to my future alma mater, the University of Texas, but I will definitely be cheering for Kentucky and Alabama basketball and Kentucky swimming. Today I would like to share with you one of the most important lessons that I have learned during my time at RASD. In second grade, my teacher in room 2B at Hamilton Park Pacesetter Magnet, Miss Woodbury, had a phrase that she repeated over and over and over again. She said it so often that we had no choice but to internalize it. If I believe I can, I will. If I believe I can, I will. Within these words is a message of unlimited potential. When you believe you can do something, you can absolutely do it. As long as the result is implanted within you, all setbacks become temporary obstacles on the path to the inevitable. Today I'd like to share 2 quick stories about success that were found through believing. The first story is about the tennis tournament that changed my perspective on the power of believing. That day, I reached the tiebreaker in the championship match, and I only needed to win 10 points to win it all. However, I had already picked myself to lose. I made excuses. I told myself that I had already played 4 matches. I told myself I had already beat the number 1 seed. I told myself I couldn't work past the pain in my arm. So it was no surprise that he took an early 8-5 lead. Being on the edge of defeat triggered something within me. Instead of seeing the excuses, I saw 2 futures, one where I won and one where I lost. I chose to believe. I believed in the future where I came back to win. I believed I could win each point. And with that goal locked in my mind, I willed that future into existence. And even though I took that trophy home, I took something far more important, the feeling of self-fulfillment from believing in myself even through the pain and doubt. The second story I want to tell you is about a businessman. He had an idea just like thousands of other Americans, but he had to make a choice. Work on this idea with the potential to lose everything, or continue his current job where he gets a consistent, high-paying salary. His co-workers thought the choice was easy. Choose safety. But he didn't. He chose to believe in his idea and risk everything. So he left his job and started working out of his garage just like every other startup, and he worked every day for the next 20 years to achieve his dream. And while I don't believe he originally dreamed of founding a global business, his company ended up being a household name, Now, because of his dream, we can just go to Amazon.com, order anything, and confidently know it'll be there within days. So today, when you leave here, I don't care if you remember either of those stories, my name, or my voice. However, you should believe in yourself. You should believe in your dreams. When you wake up, believe today is going to be a good day, whether you go to work or college. Believe today is the day you'll change the world. And every action you take through life, remind yourself, in the words of my great second grade teacher, Myra Woodbury, that if I believe I can, I will.
He is probably not your typical middle child. You know, you read sometimes like your middle child is the peacemaker, and Christopher is not that. He's more the, he's the quiet one, sandwiched in between his exuberant older sister and his even more exuberant younger brother. So he's the quiet one, but he's the one that comes in with like the bombs and takes out the other two.
So for many years, actually, Christopher would not brush his teeth. We didn't know this, but he wasn't brushing his teeth because it turns out that fluoride can kill you, right? We had to convince him in large quantities it can. So we went a long time with less than stellar hygiene. Okay, so he went trick-or-treating one year, right? And Christopher loves giraffes. Bob, unfortunately, isn't here, Christopher, so don't be afraid that Bob's going to make a surprise appearance or anything. And he dressed up as a giraffe for Halloween. He comes in on a freaking sugar high of him with a lollipop hanging out of his mouth doing this, right, as a giraffe. It was awesome. It's the greatest picture. It's just goal-oriented, right?
Goal-oriented or
it's
knowledge.
I want to do this. What do I need to do to get to that, right?
Yeah.
And it's a great, it's a great character trait for kids to have, right? And I think he learned that probably from first grade from Miss Woodbury, right? At Hamilton Park was, hey, if you want to do something, set your mind to it, and you can do it.
He's on the esports team here at the high school, and say they have an opponent that's coming up that's viewed as an obstacle, right? He watches so many videos of them playing and makes notes on the strategy to beat them, or reviews the videos from their last event looking for strengths or weaknesses, and takes copious notes on how to solve it. So any obstacle that he sees in front of him, he's going to do a lot of research.
And there's going to be a spreadsheet involved. He's going to be successful because he'll set a goal. He's going to work to get to whatever that goal is. And I worry more about, Christopher, spending too much time studying and focusing too much on things like schoolwork and those goals, and not getting the other pieces of college life. But it's nice when you got a bird that you're going to kick out of the nest and it's going to fly, right? It's a good feeling. And congratulations, you worked really hard to get in here. It's a step on the journey. It's not the end. Just keep focused on the next, your next goal, and work towards it.
Just that I'm so proud of him. I love him, and it's just been a joy to be his mom. And I'm looking forward to his next journey and getting to see where he goes from here.
And Bob the giraffe is happy for you too, and ready to go to UT with you.
Skip the Bob giraffe.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me congratulate our 2022 valedictorian and his family, Christopher Hill. Thank you, Christopher. And thank you for those stories to your parents. Those were really nice. At this time, we're going to hear from our Vice President, Awab Siddiqui.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Awab Siddiqui, and I'm your senior class vice president. I would like to start off by saying congratulations to every single one of you sitting here tonight. I know getting to where you are today wasn't easy. It took perseverance, patience, and a whole lot of growth. You should all be immensely proud of yourselves and your fellow classmates for being able to reach such an important milestone in your life and for having the courage and will to begin a completely new chapter of your lives, hopefully filled with new opportunities and relationships. I'm here today to introduce to you a person who I can personally say embodies many of the qualities I mentioned. In addition to those amazing qualities, she possesses a strong will and the likes of a leader. Her name is Emily Rivera. And I've known Emily for about 6 years now, and we met in Ms. Hinkle's GT Social Studies class. And to be completely honest, I thought she was kind of intimidating. But not because of what you would think, but because I firsthand witnessed her extreme competitiveness and sheer determination. From then, I could already tell that she would be someone who would go on and achieve a great amount. And I was right. Throughout her high school career, Emily has accomplished a lot. From being part of different clubs and organizations such as Mu Alpha Theta, Carousel of Roses, Varsity Soccer, and Climate Reality DFW, to being named District Defensive Player of the Year, Soccer Captain, being inducted into the National Honor Society, and receiving the College Board National Recognition Scholarship. She was also recognized for many of her non-school academic and athletic feats. Emily will attend LSU this fall to study Environmental Engineering Honors. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce Richardson High School's 2022 Senior Class President, Emily Rivera.
Thank you, Awab. Good evening, teachers, family, and graduates. My name is Emily, and I'm your Senior Class President. It is an honor to be on the stage today and represent Richardson High School's Class of 2022. Firstly, I would like to thank my teachers for their patience and commitment to our education. None of us would be in these gowns if it weren't for your hard work. I would also like to thank my friends for never letting me go a day without laughter. I would especially like to thank my mother and little sister for being my biggest supporters and shaping me into the woman I am today. Now, I would like to speak directly to my fellow graduates, since after all, this is our day. Congratulations, we did it. Graduation has always seemed ages away, and now it's really here. It still doesn't feel real. I can't believe we are here in our caps and gowns, about to end our chapter at RHS. Although always Eagles, it's time for us to look forward and begin our lives. While watching, listening, and reading numerous graduation speeches, I noticed a common topic. The majority of speeches featured a common theme of nostalgia and remembrance. While I'm sure these speeches touched the hearts of graduates and guests, I've decided to go in another direction. This is partially because none of us walking this stage today have any desire to hear about COVID-19, Zoom, or how tenacious we are ever again, and partially because I just want to be different. We all have dreams. Whether your dreams are audacious or humble, we all have some expectations of what we want for ourselves moving into this new stage of life. Don't get me wrong, goals are a good thing. They give us direction and a sense of purpose. Despite their importance, I want to advise not only my peers, but everyone in this stadium today to not lose sight of the present in pursuit of success. Live for the future, but don't forget to enjoy the present. Consider graduation. For 13 years, we have looked forward to this day, and now that it is finally here, we can't help but wish we had more appreciation for the journey. Today's triumph serves as a precious reminder to appreciate every moment. Enjoy the detours and setbacks. Enjoy solitude and boredom. Enjoy small acts of kindness and courage. Enjoy the small victories, just as much as the big ones. This class is full of brilliance and potential, and I believe that enjoying every moment is the key to our true success. Best of luck, classmates. Now let's go graduate.
Thank you. And the Eagle Nation, please help me recognize Emily and Awab. Thank you both. At this time, we will hear from Richardson High School Legacy Choir.
an eagle, I will race above the stars. I will fly to places yet unseen, go beyond my wildest dream. Know that you are watching over me. And all alone, I follow the stars above as my guide. As my guide, I trust in you to show the way to me beyond the sea. And now is the time. And now and farewell. And as we part, you taught me well. You gave me strength. You showed the way. I'll not forget you. Like an eagle, I will soar above the clouds. I will spread my wings and fly into the sun. Like an eagle, I will race above the stars. I will fly to places yet unseen, go beyond my wildest dream. Know that you are watching over me. Alone, I can fly with the eagle to the mountain high. Race with the eagle to the rising sun, and soar with the eagle so far beyond my dreams. Like an eagle, I will fly. Like an eagle, I will soar above the clouds. I will spread my wings and fly into the sun. Like an eagle, I will race above the stars. I will fly to places yet unseen, go beyond my wildest dream. Know that you are watching over me. Like an eagle, I will race above the clouds. Like an eagle, I will fly. Like an eagle, I will fly. I'm gonna fly up on this mountain. I'm gonna fly the highest mountain. I'm gonna fly above the clouds. I'm gonna fly the highest mountain. I'm gonna fly above the clouds. Like an eagle, I will fly.
Thank you, Legacy Choir, under the direction of Elizabeth Adsit. Class of 2022, are you ready? At this time, I would like to ask Interim Superintendent Tabitha Branham and RISD School Board President Regina Harris to the podium. Superintendent Branham and Board President Harris, the Richardson High School class of 2022 have fulfilled all requirements set forth by the state of Texas, and I would like to present them as candidates for graduation. Class of 2022, would you please stand?
All right, here we go. By the power vested in me by the state of Texas, the State Board of Education, the Texas Education Agency, and the Board of Trustees of the Richardson Independent School District, I now declare each student who will receive a diploma to be a graduate of the Richardson High School.
Graduates, at this time, please move your tassels from right to left.
Class of 2022, please be seated and prepare to receive your diplomas.
Christopher Thomas Hill. Juliana Elena Larimer. Zoe Leo Walker. Hannah Laura Agarwal. Cadence Johanna Makimick. Abdullah Al Hassoun. Gwendolyn Lily Jones. William Bingza Zhao. Cecilia Margaret Moldovan. Luke Alistair Allmeyer. Emily Alicia Rivera. Awab Siddiqui. Avery Elizabeth O'Neill. Sumaya Kareem. Akram Mohammed Hassin. Nabia Mahrin Chaduri. Bushra Fatima Rahman. Arissa Abdijer Rahman. Danielle Kalista Durham. Anaya Janae Hawkins. Katan Abdul. Mashud Alawale Abiyasulu. Kenneth Alonzo Acevedo Munoz. Ajayella Rebecca Maxine. Edward Aguilar. Jose Enrique Aguilar. Margie Julexi Aguilar Ramirez. Abdelhadi Rita Abdella Ahmed. Nicholas Michael Aiken. Christian Almaquio Alejos Eugenio. Afrin Ali. Judah Willis Allred. Nadia Ikana Nevea Amadi. Anika Amjad. Carla Guadalupe Anciola. Adelinda Sayapa Andino. Ariadne Roslyn Angan. Shatavius Jaquel Anthony Jr. Fernando Araze. Hector Arcadio Jr. Shania Rhiannon Albert. Esmeralda Arellano. Jalen Demetric Armstead. Alana Catherine Armstrong. Christian Brian Armstrong. Brandon Elias Araniva. Alayla Elise Arnold. Kennedy Nicole Austin. Zenadine Avila. Fatima Adaris Awez. Kelsey Ayeko. Ryan Aziz. Zainab Sarah Aziz. Wendy Paola Barres Granados. Abigail Juliette Ballard. Joshua Ballard. Robaya Abdul Balak. Sydney Iris Bartolome. Lara Yahia Barzenzi. Jessica Leanne Batson. Catherine Faye Baxter. Blaine Brooks Bayless. Sarah Liu Bikeli. Robin Marcella Constance Belanga. Andy Emmanuel Burnaby. Jane Nicole Barrios Martinez. Wilder Kyle Bessier. Fernando Gustavo Betanco. Augustus Lloyd Biddick. Ty Marshall Beerwagon. Kara Faith Billington. Cameron Parker Blackman. Elizabeth Ruthann Bame. Caitlin Angelina Bosco. Tiara Janice Briggs. Citrine Briseno. Sanaya Nichelle Broadway. Keller Claiborne Brown. Haley Dawn Brummett. Ja'Cory Bryant. Preston Douglas Bryant. Lauren Elizabeth Buttonbaugh. Caitlin Jada Bush. Giselda Cabrera Cruz. Matthew Kaito Cadena. Leslie Gale Cady. Jacob Calicut. Andrew Paul Calloway. Diana Sofia Camacho Reza. Nathan Carver Campbell. David Campos Vasquez Jr. Felix Campos. Hania Yareth Cardenas Ruiz. Austin Faith Carey. Sarah Ashley Carlson. Annette Carrera. Denicio Jesus Carrera Paulino. Bernice Guadalupe Carrizales Marcos. Paul Cash Carter. Elias Cruz Castaneda. Alexis Randall Castro. Rochelle Janelle Cerrone. Stefania Lisbeth Cervantes. Rena Chow. Kenneth Lawrence Chapman. Hamza Ahmed Chaudhry. Manha Shifa Chaudhry. Elijah Rashad Cobbs. Christopher James Cole. Phoenix Joel Kahn. Aaron Colan Dubon. Sarah Amatullah Connor. Justin Contreras. Diamond Danielle Cooper. Carlos Emilio Fabian Cordova Bueno. Victor Jose Cortez Rodriguez. Joshua Frost Calger. Sydney Abigail Cosby. Cameron Ella Craig. Yuri Michael Crenshaw. Saida Marisol Cruz Lopez. Nicholas Cruz Bartolo. Crystal Quadra. Monty James Cunningham. Benjamin Odell Dalton. Shania Unique Davison. Victoria Cruz. Catherine Elizabeth Day. Isabel Dela Cruz. Mallory Connor Derrick. Nadia Jasmine Diaz. Giovanni Diaz Castro. Dan Anthony Diaz Ontiveros. Malik Dixon. Damari Davion Dixon. Kennedy Nicole Dixon. Adam Dominguez. Haven Leanne Donacio. Dylan Dupati Shaw. A Miracle Divine Duchot. Martin Enrique Ekagari. Dejanay Jaleesa Easter. Grant Marcello Eager. Abel Jonas Elias. Jake Ryan Elliott. Adrian Escobedo Jr. Alondra Adriana Escobedo. Pamela Dariana Escudero Salas. Josue Javier Espinosa Flores. Sofia Maria Magdalena Estrada. Alexis Farias Agalde. Devin Marshall Farrell. Kazi Uzair Farouk. Nicole Guadalupe Ferragrino del Toro. Dion Ali Ferguson. Austin Simon Figg. Emma Marie Fisk. Ella Mackenzie Fleet. Christian David Flores. Georgette Flores Bonilla. Edwin Flores Vigil. Joanna Elizabeth Flournoy. Edward Thomas Flynn. Caitlin Joanne Marie Foraker. Embry Aaron Foster. Bryce Richards Foulenfont. Luke Benjamin Fox. Hey. Edwin Javier Funes Cruz. Jaden Crystal Futch. Moises Neftali Gallardo. Jonathan Omar Galvez. Leslie Garcia. Naria Yvette Garcia. Patricia Ann Garcia. Micah Jason Gott. Thomas Anthony Gentile. Oscar Barbs Gill. Dominic Adrian Gill. Adam Waylon Gillette. Charles Joseph Gillette. Catherine Jane Gillette. Helena Grace Gilmer. Escarlett Montserrat Gomez Gonzalez. Jamie Eunice Gomez. Yvette Crystal Gomez. Angela Doris Gomez Esquivel. Alexander Gonzalez Gallegos. Gabriela Gonzalez. Jordan Walter Gonzalez. Ashley Gonzalez. Jose Javier Gonzalez Arce. Neffy Gonzalez. Reed Addison Granger. Marcus Carl Joel Grant Jr. Ella Jo Gray. Destiny Terry K. Grayer. Carmen Elaine Grays. Rylan Lamont Griffin. Ayana Elizabeth Grimaldo. Ariana Amaya Grubbs Crawford. Yasmin Guevara. Wilfred Paul Gildree, the fourth. Arnold Uriel Gutierrez. Joshua Donovan Gutierrez. Stephanie Martha Gutierrez. Elvin Ariel Gutierrez Ordonez. Jorge Hope Gutierrez Perez. Brandy Guzman. Brian Guzman. Alexis Nicole Hagel Moreno. Marguerite Zoe Hall. You got it? Mia Catherine Hamby. Wyatt Allen Hamill. Kendall Nicole Hampton. Martina Maria Hancock. Ryan Dale Hanks. Mohammed Rizwanul Haq. Caroline Renee Harper. Dekevion Rashad Harrell. Nicholas Henry Heft. Madison Page Helm. Leah Nicole Henderson. Manaya Ann Hendricks. Charlie Alexandra Mai. Carla Alexia Hermes. Anna Eunice Hernandez. Jonathan Hernandez. Betsabeth Hernandez Perez. Hania Hernandez Salvador. Matthew Craig Hawk. Thomas Albright Hogan. Marshall Joshua McCarrig Holsenbeck. Antonia Hopkins. Travion Deontay Howell. Inez Elena Huerta. Caroline McKenna Huffman. Riley Elise Huffman. Mark Tyler Hutchins. Michaela Highland. Carson Hayes Heitch. Sarah Ison Hadi Ibadi. Princessa Eliza Ibarra. Rejoice Harrieth Tochaku Igareth. Muhammad Ahmed Iqbal. Angelo Jermaine Isaac. Liberty Inabang Jackson. Demonica Leanne Allen. Bilal Marwan Jalad. Olivia Cadane James. Noah Jimenez. Shakti Michelle Jimenez. Luis Miguel Jimenez Bonilla. Brandon Scott Johnson. Jackson Devro Johnson. Luke William Johnson. Sarah Jean Johnson. Shantavius Devon Johnson. Michael T. Gelasso. Aiden Josiah Mann Jones. Ian Charles Jones. Christopher Dwayne Jones II. Claire Virginia Jordan. Anthony Juarez Leon. Rebecca Wiley Judge. Ahmed Salim Kadar. Ethan the Keth Kalul. Ahmed Zuar Rashid Khan. Aman Ahmed Khan. Tristan David Klausing. Dylan Allen Kinnett. Gretchen Charlotte Kramer. Isabella Krista Zabrata. Ruby May Lauritzen. Brian Daniel Lorenz. Flavie Emma Lemonnier. Carl Leal Martinez. Eli Thomas LeBlanc. Luke Stephen LeBlanc. Denise Leos Lopez. Ethan Michael Lerner. Judy Irene Lewis. Natalie Grace Limmer. Serene Maria Lindgren. Hayden Lee Loftus. Alexis Lopez. Benjamin Alejandro Lopez. Brizeda Lopez. Brian Albert Lopez. Jeziel Lopez. Kathleen Lopez. Catherine Lopez. Victor Josue Lopez. Brian Lopez Munoz. Oscar Lopez Valadez. Mikhail Jaroslav Loskut. Avery Grace Levitt. Riley Alexander Lowry. Dianelli Luciano Jaimes. Mia Isabella Lujan. Tatiana Isabel Lumpkin. Joe Angel Luna. Geraldine Luviano Cabrera. Maya Nicole Lynch.
Melissa Nicole Macario. Elise Michelle Mahler. Jack Edward Mock. Khwaja Mahmood. Michael Alberto Maldonado. Rauso Osmani Maltez Corrales. Tiffany Manguilar Molina. Sebastián Marquez Guerra. Brian Adrian Martinez. Diego Martinez. Ethan Christopher Martinez. Maribela Martinez. Samantha Paola Martinez. Stephanie Martinez. Camila Martinez. Stephanie Martinez Perez. Umaya Abdus Shahid Macy. William Crawford Mathis. Lola Carlisle Maxey. Evelyn Mazariegos. Willie Jeremiah McCollum. Samuel Allen McElrath. Brianna Elizabeth McGinnis. Catherine Margaret McKenzie. Nathaniel Theodore Medina Garcia. Jack Peyton Mees. Alan Alberto Mejia Haro. Eliza Nicole Mena. Michelle Mendoza. Giovanni Mendoza. Leslie Daniela Merlos. Faith Beatriz Miller Jones. Gavin Ralph Moncure. Joy Elizabeth Montalvo Taco. Liam Montgomery. Bailey Lynn Moore. Matthew Ellison Moore. Richard Ronald Moore III. Cecia Abigail Moradel Zelaya. Brian Javier Morales. Liam Alberto Morales. Samuel Morales. Giovanni Morales Santana. Evelyn Ray Morrow. Caden Mathis Mosley. Samantha Dawn Mosteler. Precious Deanna Alexis Carolyn Lee Motley. Mohammed Musaid. Warren Dean Mullenix. Tyler Robert Mulvey. Elena Muniz. Roberto Muniz. Jeremy Emmanuel Munoz Lopez. Ariana Abigail Murillo Lara. Patrick Charles Thomas Murphy. Yelitza Nava. Catherine Navarro. Lauren Esther No. Tanner Brent Neiman. Jacqueline Jessica Nolasco Caceres. Tyree Devon Norris. Alec David Norwood. Karen Nunez Rios. Samuel Chinedum Nwanko. Carmen Elizabeth Ochoa Keith. Emily Jade Olalde. Brenna Elizabeth Olvedo. Thasmuna Omar. Ian O'Pry. Sophie Nicole Ordóñez. Juan Carlos Orellana. Edwin Daniel Oropeza Galvis. Alexander Orozco. Natilei Angelina Ortega. Emily Nayeli Ortiz Rodas. Emily Ortiz Santos. Jared Mateo Padrón Herrera. Emma Marie Page. Samuel Jr. Palacios. Brian Giovanni Par Martínez. Alejandro Paredes. Marguerite Jane Parker. Braddock Mitchell Parks II. Kimberly Parra. Susie Oblilich Pastor. Dhruv Manish Patel. Anika Freya Peterson. Nicole Michelle Pennington. Melissa Perez. Elizabeth Perez de la Cruz. Jocelyn Perez Franco. Edwin Perez Peña. Kaylin Mia Perez Lejía. Yami Cristo Perez Rodriguez. Marcus Darren Peters. Leah Catherine Peterson. Reese Madeline Payton. Ruth Ann Pickle. Kelsey Tatum Pierce. Yami Giselle Pineda Garcia. Jesus R. Pinzon. Diogene Deralyn Pollard. Chloe Antoinette Pomeisel. Michaela Joanne Poole. Michaela Marie Poole. Quasi Lee Potter. Vanina Miller Polson. Luke Draco Preciado Jacinto. Michaela Josefa Nicole Price. Morgan Lynn Pruitt. Mumtahina Rahman. Aya Ramadan. Caitlin Ramirez Hernandez. Paulina Ramirez Ramirez. Jocelyn Yareli Ramirez Hernandez. Rosalinda Rangel. Giovanni Stephen Ray. Bryce Hap Reber. Chloe Cadence Reese. Derek Dwayne Reed Jr. Cameron Dwayne Reeves. Sterling Francisco Reinking. Christian Reyes. Jasmine Reyes Garcia. Layla Sarai Reynolds. Christian Rico. Giovanni Rios. Eduardo Alfonso Rivas. Aníbal Almicar Rivera Amaya. Daisy Rizzo. Quinn Kendall Aaron Roach. Kayla Denise Robertson. Dicemia D.Y. Robertson Jr. Richard Robles Hernandez. Alex Rodriguez. Emmanuel Rodriguez. Isabella Grace Rodriguez. Juan Manuel Rodriguez Jr. Nathalie Zitali Rodriguez. Rochelle Rodriguez. Brandis Nayeli Rodriguez Ortiz. Cindy Yamari Rodriguez Pineda. Courtney Alexandria Rollins. Fabián Fabrico Romero. Lázaro Rodolfo Rosales. Andrés Rosales Huerta. Michael Gerald Ross Jr. Stephen Elijah Ruffin. Litsi Azucena Ruiz Patino. Hilal Halidin Salahuddin. Sofia Olivia Salazar. Edwin Alexander Salazar Jr. Edwin Joel Salazar López. Andrea Magali Salazar Marroquín. Joana Salinas Mallorca, Majica. José Alfredo Salinas Salgado. César Alberto Salmerón. Alexandra Alice Salmerón Montiel. Ray Preston Salomon III. Brenna Nicole Salway. Diego Samuel Sánchez. Diego Armando Sánchez. Jordan Sánchez Cruz. Levi James Sandage. Joanny Sandoval. Stephanie Sandoval. Isabel Alexandra Santamaria. Chabeli Santamaria Arellano. Inés Santana. Marceli Desiree Santiago Díaz. Axel Santos. Gabriel Tiara Sarza. Carolyn Lindsay Scott. Yuridia Dereje Seme. Donovan Pierce Semenuk. Atina Kevin Shake. Mira Iman Shams Rainey. Anna Michelle Shaw. Catherine Lynn Sheehan. Cheyenne Victoria Shepard. Seneca and Louise Sherrick. Darwin Makara Sim. Elijah Austin Simkin. Eli James Simpson. Zachary Miles Simpson. Abigail Juliet Smith. Cameron David Smith. Leslie Ann Smith. Walker Shaw Smith. Summer Ann Sneathern. Sophia Ray Sohosky. Abril Alejandra Solís Valdés. Luis Alberto Solorzano Cruz. Samantha Sky Spartano. Cobril Latoy Spencer. Kanaya LaShun Spillman. Caleb Michael Staten. Andrew Rockwell Staten. Chase Michael Stelk. Noah Blaze Stembridge. Emmanuel Paul Stewart. Jordan Elizabeth Still. Ava Elizabeth Stipe. Audrey Charlotte Stone. Jaden Merlin Storm. Luke William Stout. Savannah Stringer. Austin Hunter Stewart. Sumra Fahim Sultan. Jeremiah Jaden Seven Swan. Raisha Takia. Jason Eloy Tejeda. Lydia Tesfaye. Catherine Brooke Thames. Ryan Lorenzo Thaumann. Fiona Delina Thomas. Brianna Renee Thomas. Hendrick Thomas III. Tomas Thomas. Aaron Michael Thornton. David Lane Thorson. Zalia Nichelle Tillman. Wyatt Carter Tinsley. Ana Laura Herrera. Ariana Gabriela Tobias. Evelyn Torres. Isaac Torres. Michael Damian Torres. Trevor Nicholas Torres. Norma Idelmi Torres Santos. Ronald Joseph Toy IV. Doan Nok Doan Tran. Emma Baojun Tran. Paris Jerkesia Marie Trice. Azel Trujillo Mondragon. Lucas Taylor Truly. Brandon San. Divinity Chanel Turner Henderson. Ali Ubaid. Yosmeri Urbina Silva. You got it. Vicente Antonio Valdez. Jair Valerio Hernandez. Alondra Belen Vasquez. Wendy Diana Vasquez Garcia. Juan Vasquez Nino. Antonio Vega. Andy Veloz. Orlando Emanuel Velázquez. Noemí Ventura. Theo Thomas Verdugo. Bailey Grayson McNair. Alejandro Esaí Viguerias. Emanuel Villarreal. Evelyn Kate Wagner. Tajane Aaliyah Walker. Kaysen David Wallace. Audrey Eldian Wass. Lucas Rocket Wizinski. Jaden Terrell White. Mario Ibrahim Deuce. Isabella Noel Wiley. Jonathan Andrew Williams. Sarah Grace Williams. Evelyn Chloe Wood. Jared Workey. Cadence Lynn Yadon. Medina Diwa Hamid. Giselle Abigail Yanez. Michael Ladon Yarbrough. Esram Yemane. Emmeline Virginia Yonkos. Christian Young. Mufrad Montasir Yusuf. Clara Maria Susanna Zatopek. Joshua Adam Zemansky. Lucas Geyer Zenek. Angie Yasmin Suazo. Erica Guadalupe Alvarado. Clarissa Daniela Estrada Castillo. Evelyn Torres. Giselle Jimenez Molina. Beatriz Pamela Arenas Valadez. Alejandro Marqués Ordóñez. Luz Estrella Palma. Nareska Anahi Ordóñez Paladino. Selena Guadalupe Olvera Torres. Ethan Brandon de Jesús Sánchez. Janie Francisco. Mikel Lavon McMillan. Anthony Michael Tirico. Daniel Bocanegra. Brandon Alexis Alvarez Villaseñor. Devin Sean Ryder. Gregory Lehman Wilcox II.
Class of 2022, please stand and sing the Richardson High School alma mater one more time. Congratulations, class of 2022. Audience, if you would, please stay seated as we escort the class of 2022 from the stadium. Thank you.